I'm going to crack this thing open.
You know how like advent calendars for kids, those chocolate?
Yeah. Yep, we got one.
I'm like that with pumpkin pie.
No, it's my first Marvel movie. Everyone's like, oh my God, you got to see a Marvel movie in theaters. So I'm like, okay, I'll go see Spider-Man.
Maybe they should have been in there because I have some opinions on why Georgia is in the playoffs. They should not be in the playoffs.
Oh my God.
Why should
Not
they?
you.
They just lost.
Welcome to the Beer and Sports Podcast. I am Josh Wingate with Josh Kimmel US, and we have a very special guest today, Chrystal O'Keefe at Chrystal OK. She is a part of Sexy Chicks Podcast or Soxy Chicks Podcast. Everyone makes that mistake, I'm assuming.
Wow.
At Soxy Chicks, the estrogen powerhouse at Estrogen Hour. Or sorry, I said house and it's hour. I don't know. I'm messing up here. MLB writer for the Say It Again Network. And I found out earlier you are also an author of The Murderer Across the Hall, which is available on Amazon. How are you doing today?
You know, I'm pretty good. I have to stay up super late because I have to cover the White Sox, and they are currently out in California. So
Yeah, the Phillies were just out there.
yeah. So yeah,
Who are the Sox playing?
Angels tonight.
Okay, well, you got the big one out there. Good baseball player to cover. How did you become a White Sox fan?
Really through my husband now because he had been pestering me forever. I used to cheer for the other Chicago team because that's all I got growing up in Indiana. You didn't really get White Sox games, and we didn't have a team. But I just kind of completely quit on them one year and never looked back. And now I'm a White Sox fan.
What age did you quit? Hold on, John. I gotta know this. What age did you quit being a fan? Because I'm okay with it. Because if they don't show love to you, I'm okay with you just leaving the franchise. Like, what age was that?
I think I was about 29. So, I mean, it wasn't it was a couple of years back, but it was more of the Ricketts family really sucks, and I hate everything about them. And so, you know, I just left.
Probably on top too, like one of the better teams in baseball. So that's impressive. I left. I will say I was an Orioles fan early in my life. Cal Ripken was my guy, and he retired, and I was like, I'm out. And then Jimmy Rollins was in the All-Star game his rookie year, and I was like, I'm all in on the Phillies. So became a Phillies fan. How do you feel about your season so far this year? It's
not great. They are playing poorly. They're riddled with injury, and they have a dinosaur manager and an incompetent front office. So it hasn't been a wonderful season to cover this year.
I feel like it's the White Sox all the time. It's either like they're super up, or they're super low. There's never like, oh, they're going to be 500 this year. They're either 100 wins or 100 losses, I swear. I used to root for a team that loses 100 games a year. I was a Devil Rays fan ever since they were in 1997. I think it was their first year. I was 11, so I had a baseball team. I didn't follow them my whole life. And once they started this Montreal bullspit and splitting games and going up there, then coming, I had enough. I honestly quit watching baseball in general after that announcement. Like, I remember I have a friend that works over at iHeartRadio in the Tampa Bay market. I texted him, I'm like, dude, I'm out. Like, fuck this sorry, excuse my language. Fuck this owner. He's the worst owner in all sports. He doesn't care about his team. He won't build us a new stadium. He won't do anything. And he has season tickets to the freaking Mets, and all he does is watch the Mets, and he comes down to Tampa once a year. Fuck this guy. But I mean, like, if they're on Sun Sports or whatever it's called, I'll watch it. But I don't really follow the Rays anymore.
They've only got a couple years until they have to figure out that stadium thing. If they're moving, if they're rebuilding. And I guess, like, MLB is coming down hard on them and the Athletics right now because of this whole, what are you guys doing? Are we moving? Are we staying? Are we building? Your places suck. So, yeah.
I mean, Tropicana Field's pretty nice. I love it. And I'm one of the rare people that love it because I like to not sweat and I like the air condition. But the only problem is, which I've come to know by and other people, on podcasts, is we have a very, very cushy Tampa Bay area, which Raymond James is 15 minutes. Amalie Arena, 12 minutes. I'm not driving 40 minutes to a baseball game across a bridge. That's just not me. And Josh is like, well, we have to go 2 hours for a game. Fuck, who's going?
Yeah, well,
2
living
hours
in
for a
Delaware.
game? I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're spoiled down here. Like, we don't realize that 45 minutes it's one road. You go 275, you're there. And the parking lot's always empty. There's $5 parking. Like, it's not like any other sporting event. I just don't want to drive. We're lazy.
That's totally fair. I have to drive 3 hours most of the time to get to a White Sox game when I'm primarily in Indiana.
That'd be like me going to Miami every time to watch like the Dolphins. And I'm a Dolphins fan. That's not happening. That's crazy. You guys are crazy.
Do you have a farm club near you by chance?
We do. We have Pittsburgh's farm club. We have the Indianapolis Indians, which are a ton of fun to watch. Like,
do you go often?
We do.
Yeah.
They have these not whole club passes, which are basically like kids season tickets, and they come with perks. So you get like a seat, you get a t-shirt, and then every month they give away like a new prize, and they have really good deals. Like, kids can run the bases on Sunday, or eat free on Sunday, and it's a really good deal. So we always buy those memberships every year, and then we just go and buy 2 other seats, for my husband and I, and I'd say we catch probably about 10 or so games a year, which is pretty good since we're both really busy and sometimes impossible. But yeah,
I mean, I just listed off a bunch of what you do, and you do even more. So yeah, you're very busy.
Yes.
I was just talking to Josh about, I think a couple episodes ago. I go to Shorebirds games, Delmarva Shorebirds, which is the Orioles farm team. And I was like, it's great. Like, you can just go there. It's easy. Like you said, my daughter ran the bases, and it was a great time. But I also mentioned before, bringing up when someone comes down and goes through their training, I can't think of the word right now.
So if they're coming off the IR.
Yeah, IR and building back up. I can't remember the word right now. But what player have you seen? Yeah, rehabbing. What player have you seen rehabbing, or have you not?
I've seen quite a bit. I mean, I see Cole Tucker all the time, but now he's no longer on the Pirates. And I was there from like Andrew McCutchen. He started in 2007. So I watched his entire career in the minors.
Oh, wow. That's a big one.
Have stuck with him. And, he's been down to rehab a couple times while he was still on the Pirates. And then I'm trying to remember who I recently saw. I don't know. Every once in a while, there'll be Pirates players. And then we always try to go when they play the Charlotte Knights, because that's the White Sox farm system. So, like, we've seen Lucas Giolito, we've seen Michael Kopech, we've seen Adam Engel, like a lot of these White Sox players that are up right now. We've been able to see them rehab too, or just get their minor league starts before they get called up.
All right, I'm going to take a hard right real quick. Hard left. I'm going left. So, crash course. Someone like me, where my favorite sport's over. I was almost in tears last night. Heartbreak. I felt like my heart was ripped out of my chest when this team beat my. We'll get to that later.
That's not what the text messages said, but hey,
look. I'll describe it in a little bit after baseball. Yeah. But so I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna watch baseball. I'm gonna watch the grind. Who should I be looking out for? Who are the favorites? Like, I know the Yankees and Dodgers, but what kind of sleeper teams hovering up there? Who should we be looking out for?
I will say the Red Sox are a good sleeper team right now. They've actually, they're a little above 500. I think they're like 575. They have been sneaky good. The Twins, unfortunately, have been great too. And then, like I said, the Mets, they're way over 500. They've been really good if you want another New York team that you don't have to hate. And then I think the Brewers too. I think they're a little over 500 right now. They've been good. They've been a lot of fun to watch. I actually made my way up there to see them about a month ago. And they're a fun team. They have like really fun players, and they're sneaky good. I think they're going to run off with the NL Central. That's an easy division, but I think they are easily going to take off.
Man, the Cardinals are just throwing them away. The Cardinals are trash this year. They're only one game behind.
behind. Yeah, they're not far off, but I think the Brewers are just a little bit better at this point.
She used to be a Cubs fan, so she doesn't like St. Louis at all.
I mean, neither do I. I mean, I don't know. They had the better Molina all these years. We were stuck with the fat guy behind the plate. That guy sucked. Forgot his name. Who was the brother? Not Yadier, but
I know who you're talking about.
he's the worst catcher of all time. For some reason, Joe Madden freaking played him every game. I'm like, what are we doing here? This guy's batting like .064. It was the worst. But, okay, you look it up. I'll ask another question because this is serious. All right, I have questions on every year. It seems like one player pops, like whether it be Trevor Story, like out of nowhere, Kevin Kiermaier just came out of nowhere. Like, who are these guys that I should be looking out for? Like, I saw someone in Atlanta last night, center fielder, made some amazing catch. That's all I knew. Who is that guy? Is he good? I'm gonna put you on the spot. Who's a player like that that's upcoming that we didn't see coming?
Man, that's a good question. I gotta really hold on. Let me think about this because I don't want to give you like some terrible answer.
That's okay. I'm sorry I didn't prep you before.
No, you're totally fine. Let's see. Who has been really like out of nowhere good?
If you want to say Mark Appel, that would be fine with me.
I'm so proud of him for finally getting that call. I had to write about that the other day, and I was like, "That's really cool."
It is. It was Benji Molina.
Yes.
There you go.
Let's see. I would say, and this is a pitcher. So Tyler McGill. He's on the Mets. He's been.
Oh, geez, here we go.
I know. I'm sorry. I watch a lot of him.
Welcome to the Mets podcast.
He's turned into like that must-see TV when he pitches. He's been excellent, and I don't even really necessarily know his backstory, but he just kind of came in and was mowing down hitters left and right. So he's fun to watch a lot.
I like that answer.
Austin Hayes on the Orioles.
Okay. Oh, he's the rookie, right? That just got called up? Yes, he's fantastic.
You can't run on him. He is a great hitter. He can field like no one else on that team. Like, I would look for him too. He's been.
Is that the catcher?
Catcher, outfielder, like.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw his debut. That's all I saw. That's cool. Yeah, I saw his debut, and I'm like, who's this guy? He looks like a big deal, and he was. He played phenomenal that night.
He's good.
He's like in my little area. So I live in Delaware, so Maryland, Philadelphia is my like little area.
Yep.
And that's all you hear. Like, I just see everyone on Facebook just sharing all his stuff. The diving catch he made the other day. He's unreal. He really is.
I watched them in person last week, and I was just blown away by how good he really is.
And on a crappy organization.
I know.
They really are. It sucks. They need to sell the team for, like, seriously.
But aren't all good prospects, like not all, but like Evan Longoria played for the Rays back when they were average. Like, I feel like all these prospects are on trash teams, and like McCutchen was on the Pirates forever. And that's just how baseball is. There's just there's so much good talent. Like, there's that guy in the White Sox. Ramirez. Is he still there? The first baseman?
Ramirez?
Yeah.
I think he got traded.
Abreu?
There we go. There we go. Is he still there? He was awesome. I don't know if he's still good.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of slumping right now, but he's also 34, 35 years old. So that's
kind of his career, though. He was kind of up and down throughout his career.
Where did the time go?
Guys, but he's slowing down a little bit.
Yeah.
It's still good.
I feel like he was a little older when he got into the MLB as well. Like 28, maybe?
Yeah, he was a little older.
See, that's the thing about baseball that trips me up. I could watch Joey Wendell. I don't know if he's 22 or 38. I can't tell. Baseball players, I cannot tell their age no matter what. I'm like, wait a minute. Zach Greinke still pitching? Bull crap. I was playing with Zach Greinke on my PlayStation 2. All right? Like, he was on the Royals minor league system when I had a PS2. So, I don't know. These baseball players go forever.
Did you see the recent story about him? Like, some guy was trying to get him to sign a baseball, and Zach just, like, grabs the ball and then chucks it out in the field. And he was like, why did you do that? And he was like, for my own entertainment, and just walked away.
Wow. He's had that kind of like about him. He's always kind of been a D-head.
Yeah.
I feel like some baseball players are. I don't know. I got cussed out by not cussed out. Keith Folk of the Red Sox.
Oh, here we go.
Did I tell you this story? Story?
I don't know. Depends on what it is.
It's a story. Okay, so let me tell the story if you don't mind, Chrystal. I was at The Red Sox were in Tampa. We back in the day when I had no responsibilities, no kids. Like, I didn't miss a Red Sox game. They're my biggest rivals. Hated them since day one. So Man Ram was batting. We always get there for batting practice. Man Ram was crushing them. So my brother finally catches one, and there's like kids around us. Obviously, back in the day, they outnumbered us. This is what it is. So my brother threw it back in batting practice all the way. One hopped it to second base, and Keith Folk was like, "What are you doing, you idiot? It's batting practice." No lie. And my brother goes, "You're just jealous because my arm's better than yours," because that was at the end of his career. And he's like, "You guys are fucking idiots." And like, there's kids crying around us because they wanted the ball. And my brother were just yapping at Keith Folk, and Keith Folk like, "Get the fuck out of here." And like, eventually, like, he just walked away. But that was my one altercation with a professional athlete.
It's a good one to have, I think.
Yeah, there you go.
Look, I was like, what, 20? Who's throwing baseballs back after batting practice? Idiots like me. Or my brother.
Go. So let's get into the season a little bit more. Who do you think is going to make it to the World Series? If we had to guess right now, because we're almost halfway through. I think the All-Star game is the 17th.
Mm-hmm.
So we're right around the corner. If you had to guess right now, who do you think would be in the World Series?
Definitely the Yankees.
They're unstoppable.
Because I mean, there's nothing you can do.
I'm impressed that the Dodgers and Yankees both have ERAs under 3.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, team-wise, under 3.
Honestly, that might be the World Series matchup.
Yeah.
As much as, I mean, the Dodgers I don't mind as much, but man, I hate the Yankees.
Everyone does.
It's crushing to see that that's probably going to be it, but I don't know. That's why I hate baseball, because it's so predictable sometimes. It's always these like big market, big money teams that make the series every year. And
then you have Tampa.
Yeah.
That's the thing about baseball that I hate as well. And same thing for the NBA. They're kind of the same to me. Like, we know the top teams are going to be there. It's super boring. It's not like hockey or football where anything can happen. But things can happen in baseball, but I don't see any way. I haven't watched, but gosh, the Yankees, I'm looking at the stats right now. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable.
But then you got the Red Sox that are like hitting unbelievable right now.
Yeah.
Pitching's not too bad. Could they be a second half team that come? I mean, I know they're out of the wild card pretty far right now, but could they be a second half team that come in and just dominate the second half and possibly sneak in, and then the Yankees and Red Sox have to play, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the only other team I think that could come back and do that would be the Astros. And they aren't doing, I mean, they're obviously great. They're always great, but they haven't had as great of a year as they're used to having. So the only solace I take in the Yankees probably making it to the World Series is that I do not think Aaron Judge will be there next year.
Yeah.
So maybe they won't be as good next year.
Who's going to pay him? Who can afford to pay him? Who else can afford to pay him?
Dodgers, Mets. I mean, Mets have a billion owner.
Yeah. The Mets can pay them whatever they want. And it's unfortunate.
Gosh. So I'm looking at the pitchers list because I always like to see. I don't know who Tony Gonzalez is. I've never heard of this guy in my life. He's apparently the best. His ERA is 1.58. I'm surprised that Shane McClanahan is number 2 in ERA for the Rays. I've heard his name almost daily here, but I never watched. Like, is he Cy Young capable? Like, is he balling?
I don't know if I would go that far. He just came back from an injury, I think. Like, he is finally back on there. So he hasn't really had a healthy year, and he hasn't played a ton of games. So maybe that's why his ERA is so low. I mean, he's a great pitcher.
He started 15 games, not to shit on your point, but he played 15 games, and this Gonzalez guy only played 14.
Oh,
that's what I'm.
Yeah.
So what? And yeah, so I think I don't know. I'm just hoping, because that's what the Rays do. They pitch and play defense, right? Kevin Kiermaier catches the ball, our pitchers throw the ball. That's pretty much all that happens in our team.
Yeah, and they have a really good farm system where they really can get those pitchers. I mean, the Red Sox and the Rays both have these incredible farm systems that just crank out Cy Young capable pitchers every year. So I will give him that. He could be, but
I hope so.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just so funny. Like David Price, Scott Kazmir, Chris Archer, and they just let him go. And then they suck. They suck as soon as they leave. I don't know what it is down here. Maybe it's the water. Like literally the beaches, relaxation, sunshine.
Maybe.
Josh is just blanked out. He has no idea.
No, I'm looking at this. I would like Alec Mona, however you pronounce his name, like has 12 quality starts, leads the league, where your guy has 123 Ks, strikeouts. So, I mean, that's the two runners I would think for the Cy Young in the AL.
It's funny because if you walked in my room, if you walked in this place right now, I would know. I have no idea who he is. Shane McClaren. I wouldn't even know who he is. I need to start watching baseball. Right?
But anyway,
but it's like a job. Like I was thinking about this too. I was super. I was feeling good the other night, and I'm watching baseball, and I'm like, these guys have to work every day, and I'm like, wait a minute, I work every day. I shouldn't feel sorry for these guys. And then I did the math. I'm like, wait, so if we work every day and weekends off, and like you get 2 weeks of vacation, whatever, we work 240 days as an American. That's what we do, average. They only work 162, these lazy asses. And then we'll be complaining they work every day. We don't need less games. This is a good amount of games, which is my next pivot. What do you think about the games? Do you think we should shorten the season, make the series matter? Me and Josh have talked about this. Yeah. We want to change.
I don't know. I like what the number is. The only thing I hate is how they're expanding the playoffs. I liked it back when it was like 8 teams going in, and now it's way too many. Yeah. And that's the only part I really hate. I don't mind the season. I mean, I stay really busy, obviously, throughout it, but I'm not going to lie. I liked the shortened 2020 season and all of the like weird little rules that came from that, like the 7-inning doubleheaders. I thought those were great. I was pissed that they got rid of them. The ghost runner rule is kind of dumb, but like,
yes,
I admittedly did like that shortened season, but I just think the playoffs should be shorter.
So as someone who doesn't watch, what is the format? Because I hate how NFL did it. Everyone's expanding the playoffs. Like, stop it. In NCAA, stop it. I like the 4-2. So what is it now? It's crazy.
Oh gosh, there are so many teams. Let me double check and make sure my number is right.
While you're double checking that, I was just going to tell you my thought on the whole process. I think baseball needs to just get back to its roots and get to where they're promoting kids and trying to get kids more involved in the game. And I thought of the idea of, look what the NFL is doing with Nickelodeon. How great would it be to have a baseball game hosted by Nickelodeon where all the kids are going to want to watch it? Nickelodeon, I just watched, my daughter wanted to watch it, had a golf thing going on. So sports are getting involved with Nickelodeon. It'd be cool to just see that whole slime thing going on, getting kids more involved. And baseball needs to get back to getting kids more in the stadium and wanting to go to games.
We're doing like Apple TV, and Peacock is doing some broadcaster thing. That's just
baseball's going the wrong route. Like they do YouTube. Like I don't know if they're still doing it, but they tried it. Like, and so I'm trying to watch the Phillies, and they're normally on Comcast Sportsnet every game. But then if they're on YouTube or Peacock, I have to go all the way over there to try and find the game, and they just make it more difficult for people, and people are already frustrated with baseball.
They did something really cool on Jackie Robinson Day this year out in, like, I know it was New York, and I feel like they did something out in California too, where they brought in kids. I know in New York it was from like 5 different boroughs. They brought in all of these really young kids and had them playing this game of baseball in the park. And I mean, all of these famous retired baseball players were there to help out. And I thought that was really neat. That's a good direction to go, especially when you get in, more than just these little rich white kids. No offense to little rich white kids, but you're getting other kids in to like learn this game, grow this sport, Don't
act like you're offended, Josh.
No, my kid's black. He doesn't, seriously. He's a rich black kid that plays hockey. But it is crazy though. And we've been in this many times, a series. We want to change a series. As in they play 3 games. The series should matter. I think they should go for a point system, or like if you win 2 out of 3, you get an extra point. Or how hockey does the point system. Yeah. I think it's just, I watch these games. I'm like, do the players care? It's June 27th. It's hot. Like this is game 82 or whatever it may be. Nobody cares. They just like it doesn't. No one cares until September, right? Until it's just I don't know. It's just really hard to sit there and watch 162 games when nothing matters.
It can be. I definitely take advantage of my kind of days off where I don't have something due, where I'm just like, I'm not gonna watch it unless Michael Kopech is pitching on an off day. I'm not going to watch baseball because sometimes you do need a break, and you kind of constantly have to watch it to know what's going on. Because for Pitcher List, I cover MLB in general. For Soxy Chicks, we do the week of for MLB in general. So I kind of have to know what's going on in all the teams, and I really have to just engross myself in baseball. So I take advantage of my off days because it is a lot. And, you're devoting like at least 3 hours a day to one team or more if you have to talk about more things. So, yeah.
Hear me out. Nightly show like Red Zone. Why don't we have that? Why don't we have, I know it'd be a lot, but games are on generally, I'm on the East Coast from 7 to 10. Mm-hmm. Why don't we have a program that goes, true. Oh crap, 2 on, 2 out. Let's go to this game. Why don't we
kind of does that?
Do they do that? I don't know.
You can watch up to 4 games on MLB TV, which is kind of nice because I do take advantage of that when I'm.
But you're talking about like 4 screens, right? I'm talking about I want Scott Hansen telling me, oh crap, Judge is he's on deck. There's 2 on, 2 out. Let's go to that game right now, and we'll watch that series because that's intense. Like I want to watch that. Oh, now we got the Pirates and whatever doing this. Like, keep us entertained because, man, watching that game and then they're cutting. I've noticed that they're going to picture-in-picture commercials now during these standoffs. I'm like, that sucks. That's annoying because I'd rather just watch these guys talk about eating pumpkin pie and talking about Charlie Morton rather than hearing a GMC commercial. That's super annoying. So if we have that cool like red zone aspect of it, it'd get a lot more people interested. I'd watch it.
Yeah, I think it would be cool. I have to do kind of these morning articles once a week for Pitcher List where I have to cover everything that happened the day before. And it's like the MLB news and moments you should know. So I'm covering, like I'm talking about headlines from the day before, cool plays from the day before, injury reports. So like I have that, but again, not a lot of people just want to like read it the next day. So it's totally fair. I think a weird red zone type thing for baseball would be cool.
Like you can get like diamond something. I don't know. I have no idea. But how cool would it be?
Around the diamond.
That's so generic. But sure, yeah, around the diamond.
There you go. But anyway, I know you are busy tonight, so I will let you go to your Angels White Sox game where we just found out 12 players were suspended between the Mariners and Angels.
Has been suspended yet?
I know Jesse Winker and Anthony Rendon and Phil Nevin were all suspended.
I was really hoping it was going to be like Shohei and Mike Trout.
Yeah, right.
They're too smart to engage.
They won't allow them to do that.
That's crazy. It literally just popped up on my phone about announcing who was banned for 10 games. I'm
on the far East Coast, so I'm ahead of everybody. So there you go. But anyway, you can follow Chrystal at Chrystal_OK. Again, Soxy Chicks podcast and the Estrogen Power Hour. Thank you so much for coming on and talking baseball with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been fun. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay. I know you are ready to get into the beer. I know you've been cracking it because it was a rough one for you last night.
Yeah, it was. It was unexplainable, which I'm going to explain it after I tell you what I'm drinking. I'm drinking a hazy IPA from Treehouse. If you know beer, you know this beer. It's green. It's an IPA. Oh, look at Not Today, Satan.
That's the beer you won yesterday. Not today, Satan.
So, like I said, nice hazy, 4.5 straight up. I've had this a million times. It's up in upstate, whatever. I have no idea where it's from. Up in those tri-state area, where all the Patriots are, the New England pussies. That's where this beer can be found. Mine's
Not Today, Satan. I'm kind of curious. I have other beers I was going to do, but I want to want to know if this is going to be spicy because the way they talk about it.
Well, read what's in it, buddy.
It's not. It doesn't tell me what's in it. It's a local brew. It doesn't really say.
All right. I'll look it up on Untappd since you're not responsible and you don't use
It's
all the stuff's on Untappd, buddy.
Oh, and I want to tell you something. I'm changing that beer rating. I think I gave it a 3 last time. The tea time, it's possibly a 0. Like I will never drink that ever again. It was the worst beer I've ever had in my life.
Wow, I need to ship you one of my tea times because it's phenomenal.
Worst beer I've ever had in my life.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me. But so what's it called? Not Today Satan, but who's it brewed by?
This is brewed by Mississippi River. It's probably like 15, 20 minutes away from me.
Not Today Satan. Oh, I found it. It's an IPA. It is rated a 3.71 by the masses. 16,000 people have rated it, and it's an average 3.71. It's hoppy, smooth, malty, sweet, tropical.
Okay, so not spicy.
It's got Columbus, Cascade, and Mosaic hops. So it's not spicy. It's a little dark on my side. That's like a dark IPA. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas mine's super hazy and looks like juice.
That's not bad. I'm not a big Mississippi River fan. They have one that's like War Turtle or something like that. I don't know the exact name, but it's like a Warhead beer, and it tastes like you're drinking cough syrup, and it's like everyone's favorite. And I'm like, ugh. So, and a lot of their beers taste like that, but this one's pretty good.
There you go. 3.75.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3.75.
Look at that. Put it on tap, buddy. Stop slacking off. All right, stop slacking off. So let's get right into hockey because we had some baseball talk, and it was fun. It was lighthearted. It was a lot of fun. She was awesome.
Good information. Yeah.
Yeah, good information. More than I don't know anything about baseball, but I know things about hockey. And I know I texted you this morning.
Don't know how to pick a winning team. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, didn't know how to pick a winning team. They only won 2 Stanley Cups in a row. No big deal. Why is it that they're not a dynasty? If they would have won
3, I told you we had this conversation. 3 in a row.
That's not a
3.
dynasty.
Well, no, you have to win 3 in a decade. 3 in a decade. I feel like.
It has to be 2 out of 3. That's what a dynasty is. 2 out of 3.
You have to win 3 in a decade.
That's insane. Well, it's not over yet. People are like, "Oh, it was a good run. Oh, it was a good this." What do you mean it was a good run? What are you going to? Are they just going to go away and never come back, dude? The only reason, and I'm not making excuses, they lost. The better team won. I understand that, but they lost in overtime in game 1. They lost in overtime again in game what was it 4? Game 4. So those are 2 games that could have went either way. Yeah. The Avalanche didn't get called on a bunch of penalties, a bunch. I'm not blaming the refs because that's mid. I don't blame.
See, that's the aspect of the game I don't notice. I'm completely clueless to penalties.
I mean, when everyone says it's too many men on the ice and they didn't get called too many men on the ice and they score a goal when there was too many men on the ice and you can pause it and count it and they didn't call it.
Yeah.
There was a blatant offsides that led to a goal. They didn't call it. Challenged it, blatantly offsides. They didn't call it. Last night during a scoring chance, one of their players took their stick, hooked our guy to the ground. That's hooking, literally clear as day hooking. Didn't call it. Like I said, I'm not blaming the refs because I'm not going to lie. The Lightning had 14 shots in the first. No, this is the Lightning's fault. The Lightning had 14 shots in the first fucking 10 minutes of the first period last night. They came out firing. They scored a goal within 5 minutes. Firing. By the second period, the Lightning have quit. The Lightning only had 19 shots on goal. So from the middle of the first period to the whole second period, they only shot the puck 4 times. They quit.
Would you agree that the Avalanche won the second half of almost every game?
Yes, because they were. I felt like they were fresher. I felt like they were faster, younger. I felt like the Lightning became the heels, as in they became the bad guys, as in they started taking cheap shots, blatant boarding. There was a play last night where Killorn just crushed this guy face first into the boards, dirty as hell. If that wasn't my guy, I'd be wanting to fight that guy. Patty Maroon straight up took a stick and nailed a guy's leg and broke his stick. Like blatantly slashed him. They were just frustrated. They got beat mentally because they were getting beat physically.
Yeah.
And when that happens on both ends, it's just a disaster, especially for a team like that that they just didn't keep their composure like they should have. That's all.
Go ahead.
Like, so for example, there's this video surfacing where Vazzy, after that's the beautiful thing about hockey, the handshake line, right? No matter what they do, how many fights, like people were they were hitting each other with sticks, dude. Maroon hit him so hard he broke his stick on his leg. Imagine that. And then afterwards they all shook hands. But after the handshake line, when it was all over, Vazzy was visibly throwing stuff in the locker room on the hallway. Like, they were all just pissed they lost. And that just tells me that they knew they were beat and their best game couldn't beat them. And that sucks, because imagine you're good at everything. Imagine you're the best. Like, you thought you were the best and you just got outplayed by a younger team, an inexperienced team, and you knew you couldn't keep up. Your best game couldn't beat them.
If you had to put it to like a position group on your team, who let you down in this series?
I'm gonna say coaching.
Defenseman? Oh, coaching.
I'm gonna say coaching, because how many? I mean, Kyle was on here. When Kyle was here, I told you guys both the only way the Avalanche are gonna win is stupid penalties. You had 2 delayed game penalties in the first 2 games, which that's a total mental breakdown. You're trying to clear the puck, but you clear it so high that you miss the ice or the glass. Unexcusable. Those are penalties that should never happen. And to have 2 happen in one series, unbelievable. That doesn't happen. Then you have the dirty plays, the boarding, the slashing, the tripping. Like, the Lightning were playing dirty. And I think it's because they were frustrating. And John Cooper didn't get on top of that. Yeah. And the coaching staff did not keep them in line, keep them in the game. He failed. Like, he's a great coach. Obviously, he won 2 Stanley Cups in a row. He failed to keep his guys. And like, when you coach big personalities like Kucherov, Stamkos, Hedman, like, look at Phil Jackson with the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
He had to keep that team, keep their heads small. Well, Cooper didn't have that. He lost control. That's what I think. I know people are going to come after me about that. I know Dirtbag Dave will. I know Zach Blobner will. But that's what happened.
Do you think? I mean, you compared Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson outside of Michael Jordan.
Kucherov
what was he doing? Was he not, like, he's on the ice with them? Why is he not saying, "Low, chill out"? Like,
because Kucherov's one of those players where he loses his mind. And
there you go.
There was a shift where he was in the play, and I told Dirtbag Dave about this, and he doesn't want to believe it, but I fucking slowed it down and saw it. There was a play where he missed the puck, or something happened. Instead of continuing playing, he threw a stick in the air and skated off the ice in the middle of a fucking shift. You can't do that as the best player on the team. That just showed me you guys don't have the heart or desire to win this series. You quitting like that. There was multiple times where, I'm not going to lie, the Colorado Avalanche got away with a lot of penalties. They got away with a lot of stuff. And instead of just playing the game, everybody would stop, raise their sticks up in the air, and point like they're fucking NBA players. Like, whoa, what about the penalty? No, play. All right, it didn't get called. So they were crying about calls a lot, because I'm not going to lie. Go to any unbiased website or any unbiased Twitter account. They'll tell you the truth. The game was lost.
You even heard that on the announcers for the game. They're like, "Oh, there's been some penalties uncalled here." I like I said, I don't know penalties in hockey, so I can't do that. The only thing I've noticed was, how do you say, Vasi? Mm-hmm. Fucking unreal. Like, he is. The way he was just getting shot on shot on shot and being able to stop them the way that he was unreal. Like, holy cow, that guy can play goalie.
He's the best in the world. And if switch goaltenders, right? Switch Kemper on the Bolts. Vazzy,
it's a blowout for Avalanche.
It's a blowout. They'll win. They'll score 7 goals a game. Vazzy's the only reason why. Not the only reason. There were some good players on the Lightning that tried hard, and Sorelli was out there balling. I mean, you got to understand, the Lightning have gone deep into the playoffs multiple years in a row. That takes a toll. That's extra games. Maroon played, I think, 92 games in the playoffs in the past 3 years. 92. That's a full season just in the playoff. That's an extra season. Stamkos as well, Kucherov. So they were just tired. They were beat up. Braden Point wasn't on the ice. He's one of their best players. He missed the entire. He played 1 game, I think, in the Stanley Cup final. I mean, that's like taking out your Rodman for the Bulls.
Yeah.
Right. Like, that's a big piece. Kyle brought him up. So they were healthier than us. They played better than us. They shot more pucks than us.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot. I'm not gonna lie. The first period, it was 14 to 10 in shots in favor of the Lightning. I blinked. It was 38 shots to 19 on the other side.
Yeah, it was unreal. And I thought the biggest difference maker was I felt like they could just skate just that much faster than you guys. Because it would come down to getting to the puck. I don't know, just coming off of I don't know what you would call it, where it would just go around behind the goal and it would come around. Yeah, so and then it would just be getting to the ice. And I feel like Avalanche almost got there every time over you guys. And it was just that many more opportunities just have the puck in your possession because they just skated a little faster.
Yeah, and let's say this too: like the NHL is a salary cap, league. This is the first time ever in the salary cap era that a team made the Stanley Cup final 3 years in a row. I mean, this is an amazing feat.
No, it's great.
It is it's never gonna. I'm not gonna say it's never gonna happen again, but odds are it won't. And
could you guys be there next year?
Of course, we have Vasilevsky. Of course,
that's true.
I wish I would have brought this up with Chrystal too about the whole playoff thing. It's like if you have an ace pitcher and you're in the playoffs in a 3 game series or whatever it may be, it doesn't matter. You have an ace pitcher. The ace pitcher, all you need, you win 1 game. So when you have a Vasilevsky, it don't matter. All those shots on goal, he still only gave up 2 goals last night. And one of the goals, I'm not making excuses, was this close to being blocked. You know what I mean? That was the difference in that goal. That was the difference. And you saw the replay, and it's like, come on, dude. How much space? That minimal space. That's like Mahomes throwing it with that much space between a defender
on the fingertips of.
Yeah, it's just the way hockey is. So I don't know.
Yeah, I will say that this series was really I enjoyed this series. I didn't get to watch the last game because I was out late last night, whatever have you. But overtime in hockey is just so fucking intense. I had no skin in the race, but I'm watching. I was rooting for Tampa Bay because of you, and I was just so in it. I was nervous in overtime because it's just so intense. Sudden death, next goal wins. They just need to make hockey that. Just make it a sudden death. First goal wins, and then you're just ah.
I just wish, which I don't understand. I wish more people watched hockey because I don't see how you could watch a series like that. And I told you many times. I told many people, just watch a series. Watch this series.
Yeah.
How could you go back? And I'm not trying to make it an NBA versus an NHL thing, but how could you watch this product and then go, I'm still going to watch the NBA? How could you do that as a person? I don't understand it. I truly don't get it.
I think it's more so, and I think it's just so funny because it's back in high school with winter sports, hockey players hate basketball players hate hockey players. But in high school, it was always the wrestling team and the basketball team. They always just hated each other. So I find that funny for me. But you have more known faces in basketball, and it's easier to watch. You can follow the basketball a lot easier than you can follow that puck without knowing the game and following it throughout the year. For me, I found it easier to follow the puck, but I didn't know the rules. So I'm just how's he offsides? I don't know. So that's what made it a little hard for me. And I can go and watch a basketball game that I don't know, but I know who Steph Curry is. I know that he's going to shoot a 3. I know who Klay Thompson is. I know who all these guys are, Jason Tatum. So that made it a little easier to watch. But I do agree that hockey is just so intense. The intensity is the word I was looking for, by the way. It's just ridiculous. It really is. Hockey is just, at any given second, if you get by that goal, you can make that shot and you can win the game. And it's unreal. I enjoyed this series. I really did.
I watched game 5 Friday night with my buddy Danny, he's a big NBA fan. Is that the one you fell asleep? No, game 4 I fell asleep. Overtime game. But I had COVID. Leave me alone. So game 5 I watched it Friday night with my buddy Danny, my buddy Davey, my buddy MJ.
Yeah.
We all like hockey except for Danny. Danny likes basketball. Danny's what you think a basketball player fan would look like. He's a Puerto Rican guy. He's like, I don't want a profile, but he's got a ton of tattoos, big ass beard, like clean cut, wearing clean Jordans. Like you wouldn't say, "Oh, Josh, that's your friend," but like he's my friend, and I love Danny. He's like one of my best friends, and he doesn't watch hockey. No idea. But he watched the whole game, and he's like, "Damn!" And he says like the N word because whatever. He's like, "Damn, that got blown up." And he just got up. I said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
He goes,
it got intense.
He's like, they really hit like that? I'm like, yeah, like they do. He's like, how is that not a penalty? I'm like, because they're not fucking pussies. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And it's just, I was texting all my Colorado friends that, we've been texting, and I was so happy for the guys. I watched the entire cup. I always do. Ever since I could watch sports, I've never not seen a Stanley Cup presentation. I've never missed because I feel like their joy is bigger than any Super Bowl winners, any NBA final winners, any golf master winners, any Wimbledon. I feel like their joy is more united and it's well earned.
Yeah.
Where the
I
other ones,
like that.
Like you saw the commercial. I don't know if you saw the commercials. Like they have a big commercial of all the hockey players saying, we're doing it for the team. We're doing this. We. And it's like a whole bunch of clips of them saying we. And it's like, there's no I in hockey. Like everyone is just for the team. It doesn't matter if you're the best player or the worst player.
We in hockey either.
What I mean is like when they score a goal, they all hug each other. No one's doing some bullshit gritty dance. Yeah. Or no one's doing some bullshit. Oh, if you're audio, I'm just putting my shirt up like the basketball players do. Fucking idiots. But
wouldn't that be like team though? Because that's their team.
Yeah, but they're like, look, I did that. Whereas hockey, the first thing they do when they score a goal, they all five men find each other and they all hug. Every goal, no matter what. Watch the goals.
Very similar to soccer.
Soccer, yeah, but yeah, very similar to soccer. But my point is like the just joy on their face, and we did it. And everyone, you interview, and this is going off track, but you interview any athlete in football. I bet on this every year. Who's the MVP going to thank first? I always say he's going to thank God first because that's what they do.
Yeah.
I don't watch the NBA, so I would know who they thank. But the NHL players always say, I love my teammates. I love my dad. I love my mom. I love my coach.
Yeah.
I love that because they're they're invested, I feel like, which is whatever. Read it how you want to read it, people. It's just a better sport, better people. You don't hear stories. You don't hear stories of fucking hockey players.
We get it. You hate basketball.
You don't hear. No, I was going to throw Zach Greinke on the bus, throwing baseballs. I did it because I wanted to. No, dude. You see a hockey player on the street, they're stopping, and they're signing your shit no matter what situation.
That's a pitcher. I feel like pitchers are very about me, but if you watch a baseball game, baseball is very team. Like they hit a double and they're all like cheering, like they're at their like doing their little like it's very team-esque. And I don't know, like someone hits a home run, people are all celebrating in the dugout. Like it's one of the best scenes to watch. But I do agree. It's like my wife when she watches the draft. I just want to see how happy they are after they get picked and hold their uniform up, hugging the commissioner. Yep. It's the same thing for you. You just want to see how happy these guys are because it is one of the greatest feelings to be at the top of your profession, and it's great no matter who it is.
Think about this, right? What other sport, and I'm sure I'm wrong, but what other sport, when you win the cup, when you win the championship, every member of that team gets their moment with that trophy, and they could walk it around the stadium or walk it around the pitch or whatever you want to call it. Whereas hockey, everyone gets to hold that cup, whether you're the best player or you're the worst, and they all get their moment. Yeah. And they all get, and maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, how many NBA stories do you hear, oh, I was at the bar late night and Steph Curry came in with the NBA title and we all had fun with it. Oh, I was in the bar and Peyton Manning came in with
You'll hear football. You'll hear football because they'll come in and
you'll hear a ton of stories of, oh, I was in Colorado and we drank from the cup. Hell, my buddies did it last year. Like, I'm like, you didn't fucking text me? Yeah. Dude, it was in the moment. Like, you could be anywhere in Tampa for the last 2 years and that cup was coming out somewhere and somebody was drinking from it. Like, that's the coolest shit ever. Like, cool. I don't know. I just feel like it's so weird because they are so connected to the fans, but yet nobody knows who they are.
And I feel like that brought, like, kind of Tom Brady coming to Tampa Bay, he brought that hockey energy to Tampa Bay.
Bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. No,
No, but with the fact of normally everyone's not hungover and he was drunk off his ass with Gronk. And
see, I wish people would fucking stop saying that because the Bolts won. I know no one wants to hear it, but the Bolts won the Stanley Cup.
I'm not saying that.
And they had the boat parade before.
I guess I said it incorrectly. He continued that hockey energy.
Okay, yes.
That's what I meant. He didn't bring it. He continued it.
The Lightning bring all the energy because the boat. No one. Oh, you guys are copying the Bucks doing a boat parade. No, they did it before.
No. Yeah, I get that.
Killorn was on a jet ski with the Stanley Cup.
I said it incorrectly.
Like, if anything, Tom Brady's piggybacking on the Bolts' success.
Yeah. Okay. No, but I felt like that energy continued.
It's just Tampa,
rolled over to the
It's just Tampa. When Tampa.
But you didn't see that when the Rays didn't win the World. Never mind.
They didn't win a World Series. But when the Bolts won the first Stanley Cup back in 2004, it was like that as well.
Yeah.
But
I feel like that's just hockey though. Like no matter where you go, I remember when the Capitals won. Like there were who's their big player?
Ovechkin was drinking. Ovechkin was drunk for 5 months straight.
Yeah, like that's all you heard. And my buddies are Capitals fans. They're like, "Oh, Ovi's just fucking hammered at all time of the hour." Like I'm just hearing how hammered he is at all times, and it's. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's fun to hear. It really is. I love like not necessarily the culture of hockey. I don't know what the culture of hockey is, but I enjoy hearing those stories.
Yes, I do too. And that's why I think I gravitate to the sport.
Yeah.
And it's just nothing like it. There's nothing like it. I can't wait till now. I'll see you guys next year, October.
They seem like the nicest people too.
They really are. And that's the thing is like, so when I went to, in this short story, when I went to the Bolts Circus, there's autograph packs you could buy and there's just general admission. I'm cheap. I just bought general admission.
Yeah.
But the circus thing, you can go play circus games with the players. They're all from Stamkos to Braden Point to Vasilevsky. It don't matter. They're not fucking big timers. They're not LeBron, right? They're not Tom Brady out there. Like they're all just people, And I played sports. I played the games with them. Yeah. And anyway, long story short, I was just played a game with Braden Point. My daughter played basketball with him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, do you guys want a picture?" I'm like, "I didn't buy the picture package, dude. Like I don't have the wristband." He goes, "Who gives a fuck about that? Let's take a picture." Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the kind of people they are.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Ryan Callahan, one more story. He goes, same thing. We did the thing where you spin a wheel and like you get whatever prize it lands on. He spins it for you. He goes, we walked away. He goes, "What the heck? You guys didn't want to take a picture with me?" I'm like, "Dude, I didn't have the thing." He goes, "Dude, I don't care about that thing." He's like, "Get over here." I'm like, you just feel so welcome when you're around those guys. Like it's just different feeling.
The culture's right in Tampa Bay at least.
Yes.
I like that. I really do like that. So
that's my hockey thing.
Yeah, no, it's great. Sorry that you guys lost. Congratulations to the Colorado Avalanche on an amazing season. Tampa Bay is coming for you next year, from what I hear. But yeah, you can follow us on Mugs and Balls on all platforms: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Do you have anything for us today?
I posted some depressing things on Instagram. I haven't been on Twitter since. I actually deleted Twitter off my phone.
Really?
So only because wrestling got in the way.
This is my depression.
There was a wrestling pay-per-view last night plus the Lightning game, so I deleted Twitter. I'm gonna watch wrestling as soon as I bought the pay-per-view. I'm gonna watch it. So I didn't want any spoilers. Yeah. So I haven't been on social media. All I could say is we'll be back. That's all I could say. I felt like I know we only get off the phone or the podcast, but when I was watching the game, I didn't care. I was like, okay, they're going to lose. I knew they were going to lose. But as soon as the clock struck 0.00, like my heart felt like it sunk. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, it's like really over. And I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that emotion because when I watch sports as a 36-year-old man, I don't get that invested.
Yeah.
Cool if they win. If they lose, it's not gonna. I have 3 kids that don't give a fuck if they win or lose. I got to be there for them. That's not a problem to me. I don't care if they lose. But like my heart felt like sunk, and I'm like, damn, I haven't felt this in like 10 years.
Really?
And I don't. Yeah, I really haven't. Like nothing in sports is affect. Even when they won the cup, it was cool, but I didn't feel like whoa. But when they lost, I was like, oh, that's all. because I was for sure certain they were going to win last night going in.
Yeah.
And then once I realized they didn't, I'm like, okay, whatever, they lost. And then it's like they were all throwing their sticks in the air and they're all throwing their gloves. And I'm like, dude, that's our fucking ice. That's our ice. And these motherfuckers won on our ice, where I have season tickets to.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's crazy. But I do want to say before we get off here, our next show will be July 5th instead of the 4th. We're going to do it on the Tuesday instead of the Monday. That way we can enjoy with our families the 4th of July. Other than that, as Adam used to say, party on, party people, we out.